So can you see the portal.azure.com?
Yeah.
So this is how the portal will look like. Okay, this is how the overview would be there. This is my personal account, okay, which I had created just for the creating a services and deploying my web application or mobile application. So these are the different categories. If you can see the categories like compute categories and networking categories and storage, web, mobile, containers, database, analytics, blockchain, whatever you name it, all those categories are available. AI plus machine learning and IoTs and integration, identity, security, DevOps, everything is there. So already we discussed on the compute part and we were discussing on the networking, right? So under the networking, there is a network security group, right? An NSG group, and that NSG is very important for securing our VM or for creating uh, a virtual private network and all those things, right? And then we talked about the then we'll look on the storage part, right? So in storage there are different kind of storage. As I said, a data lake, right? You can see here a data lake store. That's a generation one, and Azure is releasing a Gen 2 also. In Gen 2, what is the difference between Gen 1 and Gen 2? Like earlier, we used to have a data lake, and maybe you can see here a blob storage as well. Okay, a blob storage as well. So yeah, so you can see the storage account, right? So these two things will be combined into the data lake Gen 2. Okay, then recovery service vault is there for kind of a security purpose. Okay, and then storage explorer, data share. Okay, so these are in terms of the storage. Then in web we have the app services, we have API management. This is also very important feature. Maybe I will not be able to give you a demo on this API management service, but definitely I will tell you about the API management service, how important the API management service is. Maybe I think a lot of people, you would have heard about API gateway. A lot of tech companies, they will be having their own developer portal, right? Like in Visa, we used to have like visa.developer developer.com. So like xyz.developer.com. So where exactly what happens? So in that developer.com or developer portal, so people or organization, they expose their APIs, their set of APIs, so that a third party or any or people or any other business, they can consume those application and they can build the application, right? And a lot of things you can do into the API management service. Like let's say if I want to do a rate limit, if I want for some people, if they are not allowed to access more than 10 requests per second, so those things I can configure it into the API management service, right? I can have a lot of policies over there. I can configure a different policies in the API management service. Okay, so that's very important service in terms of the tech companies also. That's a very good feature. And then we have the search services also, Azure search. So I think most of the people would have heard about Elasticsearch, right? So that's a search technology which is based on the Apache Lucene and Elasticsearch. So Azure has also come up with their own Azure search, which underlying is being used Elasticsearch and Apache Lucene. Okay, so that is also a service has been given over the web. Okay, that's a search service. You can search within given fraction of time. So it's kind of a full text search, it will be provided. Okay, and then we have the mobile categories. In mobile categories also we have app services and power platform, and this is mostly for the mobile developer. And then we have the containers. So this is also one of the very important categories, where container service, or which I talked about, Kubernetes services or container instance or container registry. So container registry, where you will push your container image to that particular registry, right? And where you will use a Kubernetes cluster, right? So these are the containers instances, right? Okay. And then database is another category. Like I talked about the Azure Cosmos DB. So this is a very good important feature which has been provided by the Cosmos, which has been provided by the Azure, where you will be having multiple interfaces, okay, like Mongo, Cassandra, and SQL interfaces. Then you can create Azure SQL. You can have a like a normal SQL DB that also you can create. SQL database we are having, and we can create a Postgres SQL. We can have a SQL server. We can have a kind of a cache also like Redis. I think most of the people are aware about Redis. So that's also you can have any kind of a distributed cache or any kind of a DB you can create in this database categories, right? Okay, so similarly there are bunch of categories are available, like analytics are there. You can go through with that, and then blockchain, using blockchain also, AI plus machine learning. There are cognitive service and bot service. Machine learning is there. You can create the ML pipeline and all. Machine learning studios are there where you can deal with the structured unstructured data. You can build your model, you can deploy your model, everything. You can create your ML pipeline. You can do that in AI plus machine learning. Then someone is interested in IoT, then they can go for the IoT hub. All these things are like Logic App, Cosmos DB. So that those are some of the feature you might see in multiple categories, because those can be utilized in different categories like Cosmos DB, right, or Logic App. So these can be leveraged, or these can be utilized in multiple categories. So that's the reason it's been uh, uh, showed multiple times. Okay, then you have the integration. Identity is very important, maybe which we can discuss tomorrow also, like Active Directory. And I can show you like how can we create the Active Directory. It's a similar like LDAP, which earlier days we used to do um, for configuring the organization user details. We have the groups, app registration. How can we register any application to the like, let's say if I'm building some application, okay, I need to register in my organization AD, so that people within my organization, they can use it or they can access it without any credential. That should be a single sign on. So that we can do through via app registration or enterprise application for a given organizations, okay, using Azure Active Directory. Then there is a there is a security part, okay. So security also, a lot of cool features are there and good features like Key Vault is there. Key Vault is very important feature where you encrypt all your configuration, like your client ID, your client secrets, and a lot of sensitive information. You can dump it into the Key Vault, and it would be a secure. No one can. It's a one-way encryption. No one can decrypt it. Okay, and then finally DevOps is also there. In DevOps, as I said, like ADO, Azure DevOps. So it's a big course in itself, because Azure DevOps, there are a lot of things are available in Azure DevOps. Okay, so I think that's all about for today. So if anyone is having any question, then please let me know.
Yeah, Sandeep, Rajiv here. So
Yeah, Rajiv.
I just wanted to know about the tomorrow session. Can you brief about the tomorrow session? What are the things you're gonna cover up? Whether it's gonna be completely theoretical
Sure.
part, or you're gonna do some kind of practicals as well, right?
Yeah, so it would be a hands-on session, complete hands-on on virtual machine. Like we will look on how we can create our virtual machine in Azure, and then we will try to deploy some of the resources into the virtual machine. We will try to create, we'll log into that virtual machine and create some build some application and try to deploy that. Then I will talk about not only the talk. Then tomorrow is completely, it's a hands-on. Then Logic App, what exactly the Logic App is and how we can leverage it. We will create the Logic App. And then web app, we will be working on the web app. And then Azure App Services, we're doing hands-on app services. And then load balancing Azure VM. So those are the things which we'll be doing tomorrow hands-on. And I will also show it to you, like how, let's say if some of you might be using IntelliJ or VSTS code, how you can connect with Azure and how you can deploy your solution using IntelliJ or using VSTS code. So which I prefer IntelliJ. So I will just give a demo on how you can interact or how you can configure the plugins and how you can create a virtual machine and ARM template and all those things. So it's tomorrow. It's kind of a full day. Sorry, not full day. It's a 1.5 hour session. It's a hands-on session. So does I answer your question, Rajiv?
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you very much. Yeah, so it's kind of full on hands-on. Yeah.